Hillbilly Jim is a special guest of promoter Herb Simmons today on SICW Wrestling Explosion. Hello, I'm Larry Matisick. Hillbilly Jim is one of the most popular characters ever in WWE. And before Jim went to what was then the WWF, his last match as an independent was for Herb Simmons on a card in Belleville, Illinois. How did Jim Morris become Hillbilly Jim? That answer and more when Herb and Jim talk today. Add in a six-man tag match at a St. Louis Classic moment featuring none other than Ric Flair. All coming up in a moment. Once more, the exciting 2013 season proved that the Gateway Grizzlies are an important part of the St. Louis and Metro East sports scene. Every game is fun for fans of all ages, hustling and hard-hitting. The Grizzlies always provide plenty of bang for the buck. In addition, the GCS ballpark is the perfect place to enjoy baseball. The organization, the facility, part of our community. Baseball is America's game, and the Gateway Grizzlies do it right. Keep in touch with new developments. Go to gatewaygrizzlies.com.
Unique and affordable gifts and collectibles on the internet are available at the Black Bear Haversack Trading Post. Go to blackbearhaversack.com. Semi-precious stones, bone horn and soapstone items, abalone shells, genuine coyote and water buffalo teeth pendants, products for Civil War, medieval, and Renaissance reenactments, and so much more. For a 10% discount, mention SICW number 7 when you place your order. It's blackbearhaversack.com for top quality at reduced prices.
It's six-man tag team action on SICW Wrestling Explosion, and the Joker had Bobby D in trouble, but not until he missed that punch and went over the top rope against Bobby D. Bobby D from Belleville, along with Daniel Eads and Chaz Wesson. Look out, where's Bobby going? Airborne into the Joker, and the Joker is flattened out right in front of the first row, and they loved it in the jam-packed SICW arena, the East Carondelet Community Center. It's Bobby D, Chaz Wesson, and Daniel Eads against the Joker, Frankie the Thumper Wyatt, and Axe. And the Joker says, timeout. I'm afraid you're not going to get timeout, Joker, but it's a good try. Nothing wrong with that. Bobby D, he's not rushing in. He's being careful when he comes in, but he comes in with a knee to the chest, another knee to the chest. Bobby D using kicks and knees, misses a spin kick, and Joker does not miss with his kick, lands it right in the rib cage, and Bobby D goes, ooh, trying to catch his win. That hurt. Bad spot to hit right in the rib cage. The Joker with another kick, and that one to the head. That hurt even more than the rib cage, I'll tell you that. Jay King goes down for the count of 1-2, and Bobby D manages to get up hard. Did the Joker pull him up by the hair? That was a close one. Axe reaches his hand out. He wants a tag. Here comes Axe into the ring. Oh, that Frankie the Thumper takes up some space, doesn't he? As Grant Murphy tries to get a shot around him. Thank goodness he moved. Now we can see what they're doing to Bobby D. Frankie the Thumper grabs the face of Bobby D while the referee chases him away, and that opens the door for Axe to do something nasty to Bobby D. He hooks the head, goes underneath, thinking suplex. Oh, the suplex blocked nicely by Bobby D. A good block on the suplex. And now it's Bobby D with a suplex on Axe. He made that one count, and Axe tries to catch his win. Tag made to Chaz Wesson, the old school warrior. He comes in firing. Chaz Wesson, big clothesline. Down goes Axe. Axe comes up and runs into a chop right to the chest and a punch to the head. Chaz Wesson opening the door to a lot of excitement right here. He covers for a pin, but only a count of 2, and Axe gets away. Chaz, a forearm smash to the back. Axe getting in the wrong corner. I think Chaz said something to Bobby D. Maybe not. I thought he was looking for something where they could double team him. Now he yells something over at Frankie the Thumper, who's been really a pain in the neck throughout this match. Big body slam by Chaz Wesson. Tag made to Daniel Eads. Chaz Wesson, a good tag team wrestler. He knows you keep moving fresh people in. Go out there full bore, 100%, 110% straightforward. Tag in another guy and let him try his luck. Well, Frankie the Thumper there to try to bake up a potential pin on Axe by Daniel Eads. Daniel Eads goes over and pushes Frankie the Thumper. Frankie the Thumper Wyatt. He's getting a reputation, and we look at him. Herb Simmons said this to me during the match. He reminds me of Earthquake. Remember Earthquake John Tenta that used to be in the WWF? Oh, Daniel Eads goes for a big knee crush, and he misses it. All he does is ram his knee into the top turnbuckle, and that opens something room for Frankie the Thumper to land a headbutt into the stomach of Daniel Eads. An opportunity was created for Frankie the Thumper when Daniel Eads missed that knee, that running knee, aimed at Axe. Axe got out of the way, so a good defensive move by Axe turns on the offense for Frank Wyatt, the erstwhile Thumper. Picking up that name, of course, from Terry Funk, who was named Frankie the Thumper in the movie Paradise Alley back in the 1970s. He did that movie with Sylvester Stallone. Look it up sometime. Dig that movie out. It's a great movie about wrestling back in the day. Leg drop by Frank Wyatt on Daniel Eads, but Eads manages to get his shoulder up. Frankie grabs Daniel Eads, pulls him into the corner. Smart move by Frankie Wyatt. Gets his opponent into the corner where they can double team, triple team if necessary. Daniel Eads. Eads took a kick to the head, and he staggers back across the ring. Tried to get away, couldn't do it. Joker whips him into the opposite corner. Here comes Joker, a big, strong guy, and he rams into Daniel Eads in that corner, stapling him to the corner. Daniel Eads. Tag made to Axe. Now these rough and tumble threesome, this threesome of the trio of the Joker, Axe, and Frankie the Thumper opening up and really going a lot rougher. They know, they sense, they have an opportunity against Daniel Eads. Eads trying to fight back. Nothing like youth, though. Hey, Eads fighting back strongly. Look at that, throwing elbows right and left. He almost got out of that corner, but he's still hooked there. And Axe with a suplex. Axe with a suplex on Eads. Pulls his arm in there. Ooh, that was close. 1-2. Eads was really close to being pinned right there by Axe for that suplex. He fought his way out of the corner, but he wasn't out of it long before Axe hit him with the suplex. Axe banging Eads back into the corner. Yells something to Frankie the Thumper. Let's try to double team him some more. Let's see what more damage we can do to Daniel Eads. Eads knocked back into the corner by Frankie the Thumper. How much do you think Frankie weighs? 300 pounds? He's got to be a good 300 plus, I would think. He's not as big as a Bull Bronson, but he's a pretty big guy. He comes charging in and crushes Eads into that corner. Frankie pushes Eads back in the corner, whips him across the ring. Is he going to try the same thing again? There's something that's going to the well too often. Let's see if he's making that mistake. Because, yes, he is, and Bobby D pulls Eads right out of the way. Good work by Bobby D. He gets the tag. He comes in, drop kick on Frankie the Thumper. Comes off the ring, comes off the ropes. Could knock him over. Way too much Frankie there. Now manages to pull him forwards down. Good move by Bobby D. Couldn't knock him backwards, but he was able to pull him forwards and bounce his head, face plant him literally, on the mat canvas of the SICW ring. Here's Daniel Eads. He's angry. He wants a piece of Axe. Axe goes outside the ring. Chaz Wesson says, well, let me have part of the fun. Chaz Wesson's in the ring, and all of a sudden we have everybody battling. We have half the people outside the ring. Oh, big chop on Frankie the Thumper by Chaz Wesson. He pulls Frankie out of the corner, makes a tag to Bobby D. Actually, Frankie the Thumper kind of got trapped in there alone right now. And here comes Bobby D off the top rope with a missile drop kick. The missile drop kick on Frankie the Thumper Wyatt. Count of one. Joker broke up that potential pin. Now Chaz goes after the Joker, knocks him off the apron. We have Bobby in the ring with Frankie the Thumper. Thumper has Bobby up in the air, bangs him into the top turnbuckle, almost a backbreaker type thing. Now he bangs him into the other corner. Daniel Eads there. He drop kicked his own partner in the back, and his own partner ended up on top of Frankie the Thumper Wyatt. Well. Frankie Wyatt was bouncing Bobby D all over the ring, but he ended up leaving some room for Daniel Eads to score with a drop kick to the back of Bobby D. It was enough to throw off the balance of Frankie the Thumper Wyatt. Wyatt went down, Bobby D on top. The referee counted 3, and that meant the victory goes to Chaz Wesson, Bobby D, and Daniel Eads. A smart move by Daniel Eads. He was paying attention, and Bobby D, being a tough guy, he held in there. Stick around now. We're going to go to Hillbilly Jim and promoter Herb Simmons right after this.
The sensational new book by Larry Matisick is on sale now. The 50 Greatest Professional Wrestlers of All Time, The Definitive Shoot. Who was the best and why? Who's not on the list and why not? It's a fun read with tales of the greatest and those who were close. Get the inside stories about pro wrestling. Remember, Larry's other books, Wrestling at the Chase, Brody, and Drawing Heat the Hard Way, are available too. And get the hot bestseller now, The 50 Greatest Professional Wrestlers of All Time. This is the one that every wrestling fan needs.
For the best deal on pre-owned cars and trucks, check out King Auto Sales in Cahokia, Illinois. Buy here, pay here. It doesn't get easier than that. Easy terms and financing on the spot for the best deals on all makes and models of pre-owned cars and trucks. You can't beat King Auto Sales, 2915 Camp Jackson Road, Cahokia, Illinois. That's King Auto Sales in Cahokia, where the customer comes first. Phone 337-7050.
We're going to do just a little talk here. We could talk probably for a couple of years of everything that's been going on, but I want to thank you on behalf of all these great fans of the SICW taking time out of your schedule to come down here and be a part of what we're trying to keep alive here.
Well, Herb, you know personally to you, you know how much I love you. And I got to tell you, I love coming back to this area here, and I've heard so much, and I know what everybody's talking about this wrestling organization over here. This is absolutely wonderful, and I think all these folks out here is all because of you, by the way. But don't you love these matches? These guys, you've got great athletes here. This is an amazing thing for me. And I tell you, sitting back and hanging out around the dressing room, it took me back to many years ago, and I kind of got that fever again. And thank you for inviting me out and letting me spend a little time with you.
Well, no problem. You know, it's always a pleasure, buddy. And as I was telling the fans, some many years ago, before you went to the WWF, when you were doing the Mid-South and the Nashville routine down there, I remember we brought you in a couple different times, and your last show on the independent market was for us in Belleville. And I remember that night when you come in and you said, "Hey, boss, I got some news for you." And when you said, "I'm on my way to New York," right. And I remember telling you, good for you. If anybody deserved it, it's Hillbilly Jim. At that time, you were going by Harley Davidson.
Harley Davidson, yeah. I was in the Mid-South down there with Jerry Lawler and all those guys in Memphis, and I was traveling around doing the Harley Davidson thing. I had a partner named Dirty Rhodes, and we were really enjoying ourselves. But I got the call to step up a bit, and in this business, as everybody knows, if you get a chance to improve yourself, and I got a wonderful call to go to the WWF at that time. And, you know, Herb, thanks to friends like you and all the friends around the country, I got to go all over the country and the world and see a lot of things, and I never looked back, but I never forgot. And I got to tell you, this is from my heart to all you people. There would be no superstars like all the ones that you see on TV, all the ones that you love, the Hulk Hogans, the Rowdy Roddy Pipers, the King Kong Bundys, the late, great Big John Studs, Andre the Giants. There would have been none of us without you folks. And that's what it's all about, wrestling towns like this. So I appreciate you guys. It means so much to me. It really does.
Well, you know, Jim, and that's what we're trying to do. Your good friend also, you've known a long time, Larry Matysek. We've been trying to keep that tradition alive for a long time. And when I was able to reach out to you, of course, your good friend was here a couple months ago, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, the 2x4 man, yeah. Well, you know, recently, Hacksaw and I think it was Rowdy Roddy Piper and Tony Atlas, Mean Gene Okerlund, Pat Patterson, and I believe Howard Finkel. We were all in a house called Legends House out in California. It's a reality show that we shot. And I understand that maybe next year, I was telling Larry and everybody about it, I think maybe next year they're going to start a new channel. The WWE is going to start their own on the wrestling channel. I think you can look forward to that. So I've had a wonderful, blessed life. And to be able to be here tonight and see all my friends right here at Christmas time, I just got to thank you, thank brother over there, and all you folks here for giving old Hillbilly Jim a very nice, special Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Well, and you know, you said a while ago, Jim, you've lost count of the dressing rooms that you've been in over your career. Yes. And you told me back there a while ago, the dressing room, the way it's organized, how does it compare to what you've been used to during your career?
This is very refreshing here tonight. I saw the good, because I've seen the good and the bad and the ugly over my years. And to be in this town and this dressing room with this organization here and seeing what you folks are doing, everybody, by the way, all across the country are talking about this promotion. You know that. And now I've heard so much about it. Hacksaw was telling me about it. My buddy Kenny Patera and people like that have been talking about it. And I see what you've got going here, Herb. Of course, I've known you for many years, and Larry all these years too. And you guys are first-class individuals. And to have this group and this collection of athletes here is just wonderful. And I know they're putting on good shows here, and I know there's more to come. I can only see this thing getting bigger and better. And I hope all the fans are enjoying it as half as much as I am. Are you liking it tonight? Yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah.
Let me ask you another question. When you went to the WWF, as I said, you were Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
Now, tell the fans here how Hillbilly Jim got created.
Well, As you know, when I first were talking to the people at the WWF, I couldn't go there and be Harley Davidson. That was a big name, and you couldn't do that with merchandising deals and all that stuff. So I remember the first night or two that they saw me, I was in Hartford, Connecticut. They flew me there and had me do a couple of matches. And I remember getting back in that very dressing room there. It was Vince McMahon, the late, great Chief Jay Strongbow. Yeah, Chief. And the booker at that time, his name was George Scott. And myself, and we all sat back there, and they said, well, where are we going to say you're from? Of course, you couldn't be Harley Davidson. And, of course, I am from Kentucky, born and raised down there in that hillbilly state of Kentucky. And Chief Jay Strongbow spoke up, God bless his soul. He said, you know, he said, there hadn't been a hillbilly in a while. And I said, that sounds good. And Vince McMahon rolled up his program, what it was. He said, Hillbilly Jim, it sounds pretty good. And he said, where are you going to say you're from? Well, when I was a child, I'd go visit my grandparents. And they were in the country there outside in Barron County. We'd always go to a little city called Tompkinsville. As we'd go there was a little city there called Mud Lick, Kentucky. And actually, it's a little place there. It's got its own little post office, not as big as the one across the street here, even smaller. And I looked at Vince and I said, I'll be from Mud Lick, Kentucky. And Vince said, oh, I like that. I like that line. And that's where the Hillbilly Jim thing began.
Well, that's it. There you go. Everybody's come up to ask me tonight, how did Hillbilly Jim get created? Now we know.
Yeah.
And again, you know, you had a good career. Tell the fans here at SICW, what is Hillbilly Jim doing these days?
Well, listen, my life continues to change, and I've always got this deep-rooted connection to this wrestling business, and I always will, because the best fans ever are the wrestling fans. I've seen them all over the country and done all kinds of things, and they stay with you your entire life, and that's been an honor for me. But I have evolved, as you know. I did many things with the WWF and the WWE recently. I hosted the Fan Access Tour for many years, and then I came back and I managed a few guys, the Godwins, for a while. And I went back and I did assorted TV shows and different things for them. But as recently, last 7 or 8 years, I've had my own international radio show on Sirius XM Radio. It's on the Outlaw Country Channel. It's called Hillbilly Jim's Moonshine Matinee. It's a 4-hour show on Saturdays and Sundays, and you know I was talking about it this morning on the show, and you'll hear it again tomorrow. Anybody checks it out, and you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to talk about being here tonight and seeing these wonderful folks here at SICW. You can believe that.
Unique and affordable gifts and collectibles on the internet are available at the Black Bear Haversack Trading Post. Go to blackbearhaversack.com. Semi-precious stones, bone horn and soapstone items, abalone shells, genuine coyote and water buffalo teeth pendants, products for Civil War, medieval, and Renaissance reenactments, and so much more. For a 10% discount, mention SICW number 7 when you place your order. It's blackbearhaversack.com for top quality at reduced prices.
Farm music and fun. The place to party is Pop's nightclub and concert venue in Sojay. From Bruno Mars of the first U.S. tour of Nickelback to Flogging Molly or the Insane Clown Posse, 30 years of memories pack Pop's concert venue with more made at every news show. And there's a party at Pop's nightclub every night, a melting pot of friends enjoy the best in dance, rock, pop, and top 40 music until 5:30 a.m. Plus add a full game room. Check out all the action at popsrocks.com. Then and now, the place to party is Pop's in Sojay.
Let Custom Truck Upholstery give your vehicle a facelift. Visit us on 707 North 20th Street in East St. Louis, Illinois. Custom Truck Upholstery merges old world craftsmanship and attention to detail with the latest in modern technology to make your car, truck, boat, or motorcycle look like new. Call Custom Truck Upholstery at 618-875-9850.
But just in case our sound man, Charlie McDavid, didn't quite catch his...
Ric Flair was at his peak on December 20th, 1981, when Ric was the World Heavyweight Champion. That date, he opposed Roy Rogers on Wrestling at the Chase.
He is not without his fans, and neither is Dusty Rhodes. Roy Rogers, a newcomer to Wrestling at the Chase, is yanked into the corner by the World Heavyweight Champion, and a clean break from the Nature Boy. He struts back. Flair. How do you describe him in one word? Daredevil, reckless, gambler, flamboyant, gaudy, exciting, always. He is all of those things. Flair with a hammerlock on Roy Rogers, yanking the arm up behind Rogers' back. The world champion tries to get the shoulders of Rogers down. Rogers Tries to bridge, get the shoulder up, manages to roll out, goes behind Ric Flair. Not for long. Oh! Does he have his basics down cold instinctively? Did you see that move by Flair? And he cradles Rogers. The referee trying to get in to check the shoulders. Flair had that cradle on so tightly that actually kept the referee from getting in there to check the shoulders. And Flair is not happy about it. He said, when his shoulders are down, you should be counting. The Nature Boy struts around that ring and his crowd starts screaming. I think they'll be screaming when Dusty Rhodes comes down that aisle. The man who was so proud of that gold belt said he wanted for the people, a plumber's son from Texas. He says, I grew up in dusty, dirty gas station, and there was Ric Flair driving his Cadillacs with his own personal weightlifting equipment, going to Colorado to ski in the winter when he's only a teenager, going to Florida in the summer to spend time on the beaches. Couldn't be a bigger contrast between two opponents when you compare Flair to Dusty Rhodes. And Rhodes can handle the tough stuff. He came up the hard way. He can take the knocks. He's proven it twice. He defeated Harley Race for the gold belt, and Race is tied with Lou Thesz for the most times winning wrestling's biggest prize. 6 different times Race was the world heavyweight champion. That gold belt has history that goes back to 1905. You're talking of people like Strangler Lewis wore that belt, or the predecessor to it. People like Lou Thesz, like Wild Bill Longson, like Gene Kaniski, who will be the special referee when Flair and Rhodes square off for all the marbles. Flair catches Rogers with a blast to the side. Flair with an elbow smash to the head of Rogers, knocking him to the ropes. Flair batters Rogers head first into the top turnbuckle. Flair lifts Rogers, backbreaker by the world champion. Flair retreating across the ring, lining up the head, yes, the knee, across the forehead of Roy Rogers. Flair covers Rogers, cradles the leg. Rogers throws Flair off. Flair hurls Rogers into the corner. Talk about strength, boy. He almost took his arm right out of the socket. He threw him into that corner. Flair has plenty of power of his own, and then he clamps the head, and look where the forearms are, right across the cheekbones. That hurts worse than a regular headlock, and no wonder Rogers is squirming and ending up in the ropes. Flair pulls Rogers off the ropes and throws him through the ropes and right out into the front row practically. A hard spill to the cement floor. Compliments of the Nature Boy who struts around that ring. How long can he keep up that pace he's at? Night after night, the gold belt on the line, living as fast and hard as he does. Ric Flair doesn't seem to be any the worse for wear. He yells at the referee. He's just battering the young Roy Rogers around. Rogers in there with a man who is simply at the peak of his game. Look at Ric Flair batter Roy Rogers, the world champion. Oh, that Flair, just a mile a minute pace. Never stops, just keeps going. Rogers is being battered by Ric Flair. Rogers on the apron, pulled into the ring by the world champion. Flair whips Rogers to the ropes, catches him with an elbow to the chin.
5 minutes of elapsed, 5 minutes left.
The world champion grabs Rogers to the side, saddle, suplex. Flair covers Rogers. Rogers manages to get his shoulder up, and don't ask me how, because he has taken a pounding from the world champion. Flair takes a shot to the stomach, and maybe youth and stamina are going to pay off for Rogers. He landed a couple of blows, but Flair hangs in there. Knee lift to the head. Ric Flair, he played football, wrestled at the University of Minnesota. He's got a tremendous athletic background. Flair caught in a jackknife and cradle. Hey, the champion's shoulders are down, but only for a count of 1. Flair quickly back up on top. He grabs Rogers, has him in the air, setting him up. Oh, pile driver. The pile driver by the world champion Ric Flair. Rogers' foot is on the bottom rope. There'll be no count of 3 here. And maybe it's a good thing for Rogers he landed where he did. Rogers gasping. His eyes are glassy. I don't think he knows he's in the ring, but he certainly knows he's in there with a tornado. A gaudy, colorful, charismatic tornado named Ric Flair. The world champion pounding with those forearms, and I mean to tell you, he drives them home, just bangs them in there. Rogers pulled clear across the ring by Flair. He lifts Rogers to the air. Atomic knee drop, jamming the tailbone down into the knee.
Now you know he's wrestling the world champion.
Now he knows he's wrestling the world champion. So says Ric Flair. And I have to admit, I am impressed by Flair today so far. Flair has Rogers in the air, suplex by Flair. Rogers is done. Flair still not satisfied. Flair still not satisfied. Elbow drop. Nature Boy Ric Flair is dishing it out. He's going for the figure four. The figure four leg lock. The figure four, the one that rips ligaments apart. And Roy Rogers submits quickly. Ric Flair has just destroyed Roy Rogers. Flair absolutely made mincemeat out of Rogers, a good young wrestler, but the world champion wanted to let everybody know he has what it takes to wear the gold belt.
From the World Series champion Tigers in '45 to the Gateway Grizzlies to the '03 State Tournament Belleville East Lancers. A tradition in baseball and an even longer tradition in fine furniture and service. Miller Furniture, 1004 East Main in Belleville.
The sensational new book by Larry Matisick is on sale now. The 50 Greatest Professional Wrestlers of All Time, The Definitive Shoot. Who was the best and why? Who's not on the list and why not? It's a fun read with tales of the greatest and those who were close. Get the inside stories about pro wrestling. Remember, Larry's other books, Wrestling at the Chase, Brody, and Drawing Heat the Hard Way are available too. And get the hot bestseller now, The 50 Greatest Professional Wrestlers of All Time. This is the one that every wrestling fan needs.
What a character, Hillbilly Jim. He's dealt with serious injury and become a beloved figure in the wrestling business. Truthfully, you can't help but like the guy. Also, a nice mix of familiar and new faces for SICW in that six-man tag team affair. And wasn't Ric Flair something when he was the world champion? It's all part of the secret for the success of SICW. Mix old and new, appreciate the nostalgia, let everyone shine their best. Around independent circles, SICW is the hottest ticket in town, and it's no accident.